Yes. Now, if you look at the chart, there is a group of grade 1 diastolic dysfunction where patient becomes symptomatic when they exercise. This is because so long we were measuring the diastolic dysfunction and LV filling pressure at rest. Now, this patient at rest was okay, but then he becomes symptomatic as he exercises. So these are the patients where we go for diastolic stress test, just to mention you, because at your level you do not need to do this, but just to know, I am telling you that this we do in early HFpEF patient where at rest their LV filling pressure is normal. So if you assess the diastolic dysfunction, you will get a normal filling pressure, but as the patient does the exercise, the LV filling pressure rises. This is because in a normal subject, when the patient exercises, there is augmentation of the myocardial relaxation with more powerful early diastolic suction, which results in increased E pressure as well as E wave velocity, as well as E prime velocity. So it keeps the E by E prime normal. Whereas in these early HFpEF patients who has the normal filling pressure at rest, there is no augmentation of myocardial relaxation. So as they exercise, the required cardiac output is achieved at the expense of increased filling pressure. So though E wave increases, no change in the E prime, so E by E prime increases. This we do by, we get the diastolic parameters at rest, and then we ask the patient to walk on the treadmill that I am doing in my lab. Then at the symptom limited exercise, patient lies on the bed, as you can see, and I'm getting the diastolic parameters after exercise. And look at this patient at rest. The patient's E by E prime was only 9, but with walking it increased to 17.6. So this is the way we identify this group of patient. However, if you don't have this, we can unmask the elevated LV filling pressure only by passively raising the leg of the patient while doing the diastolic assessment in resting condition. So what we do, we elevate both the legs passively perpendicular to the torso of the patient with the knees bent at about 70 to 80 degree, around 90 degree. That will transiently elevate the preload of the patient, and then it will unmask the LV filling pressure, resulting in E by E prime more than 14. Here we have the advantage because patient is not walking, so there is no tachycardia, so EA remains separate. Whereas in case of this treadmill, when the patient walks, that is a problem for a minute. Well, you are recording the diastolic parameters in the post-exercise. E and A remain fused, but within a minute that they get separated. So this is the way we unmask the LV filling pressure. And other than that, there are advanced techniques. Just to mention you at your level, there are various parameters by 3D and then GLS. But one very important, which is gaining importance, is the LA strain, which is also an important biomarker for HFpEF patient. However, it is not yet a routine practice, and it requires more standardization as per the latest guidelines. So we don't use regularly in this parameter. So that's all about the diastolic dysfunction assessment. So as you see, as you have seen, it is a very, very critical part of the echo examination. So we should do it carefully, but keeping it very simple and following the algorithm. Thank you.